We have the chairman. Chairman is the person who is the president of a meeting or the president of a group. Consultant. Consultant is the person who gives advice to the company. Consultant. HR director. What does it mean, HR? HR is
Human resource.
human resource director. We have marketing manager, sales representative. What is sales? It comes from the verb to
Sell.
sell.
To sell something is to
The opposite is to buy. To sell, c'est vendre. Le vendre in French. We have CEO. CEO, it means Chief Executive Officer. Customer Relations Specialist. What does it mean, this? Customer Relations Specialist. What is his job or responsibility? It's
Marketing.
the word. What?
Marketing.
Yes, of course, it is in marketing, but the person who is responsible
to
relation
relate the customer with the company.
between the company and the customers. Customers,
Yes.
c'est les clients.
Oui.
In English, we can say customer and client. What is the difference between customer and client?
client هو الزبون و customer هو العميل.
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 العميل. I don't understand this word. العميل. العميل. What is his job?
They always buy from us if we are association.
In the company, we don't say association. Why do you say association? It is the company. We talk about the company.
I'm sorry.
Customer is the person who buys products. Quelqu'un qui achète des produits. But the client is the person who buys services. The service. Can you tell me the difference between service and products? Products and services. Yes.
Service is do something for other, and products is give something for other with money.
Well, we can buy a service with money and we can buy a product with money. All the time we need money to buy service or a product. Product is something that is tangible, that we buy, like a computer, like a TV, but a service is something that when we go to the hotel, we don't receive a product. It is a service. When we take a taxi, we don't buy a product. Public transportation, it is a service. So there are all the time in the companies which provide products, and there are other companies which provide services. So there are some companies who provide both products and services. You see the difference? Yes?
Yes.
No. Difference is a product that we buy, something which is tangible, that we touch, but service, something which is just a service that we can get. For example, Tisarat al-Maghrib can sell mobile phones, and they can also provide you with internet. So internet is a service, is not product. HR specialist, plant manager. What is a plant?
Like something that we can't touch.
Yes, something that we cannot touch. So what is a plant? Plant manager. A plant is a Factory, like factory. What is factory in French? Une
Cuisine.
usine. So it is a plant or factory. And we have systems administrator. We have chief financial officer. What is the difference between CFO and CEO? What is the difference between CEO and CFO? Yes? Who works at a higher level, CEO or CFO?
CEO.
CEO.
CEO is
CEO.
the employer in the company. He has got the higher level in the company. But both of them, they work at the top management level. We have head of marketing. What is head? When we say head of the department, c'est le chef de département. Head of marketing is le chef. And junior, all the time in business English, we talk about junior and senior. Who works at a higher level, junior or senior?
Senior.
Senior. Of course, senior works at a higher level than junior. What is accountant? Accountant in the company, person who is responsible for what?
For
Accounting.
comptable.
Accounting or accountancy. Yes, c'est un agent comptable. We say accountancy, c'est la comptabilité. Accountancy or accounting. And sales manager, c'est a person who is responsible for sales, les ventes. And we have vice presidents. Now, can you divide these positions? When we say un poste, we say position or post or in the company. So there are some people who work at the top management. There are some people who work in the middle management. There are some people who work back office staff. We call them back office staff. And there are people who work, or we call them the front line staff. You know the difference between top and middle? Top, they work at the top, higher level of management. And we have middle, in the middle, au milieu. And we have back office staff. What is back office staff? People whom we What is back office staff? People whom we don't see. People who work in the company, but we don't see them. And frontline staff, people whom we can see all the time. Can you divide these words can you put them? So top management, can you tell me top management? Who works in the top management?
Like the
The
director.
CEO and CFO.
Yes.
Chief Executive Officer.
Yes. And
Chairman.
Head of Marketing.
we have chairman,
The vice president.
Vice president.
financial officer, vice president,
HR Director.
HR director.
yes, and HR director. So we have, I will tell you the top management. We have chief executive officer. We have chief financial officer. We have the chairman. We have HR director. We have head of marketing. Head of marketing. I told you last time that you have to take notes. So these are the answers of the first question. And the last, we have vice president also.
Teacher,
So we
and
have chairman. What?
plant manager.
Plant.
Manager.
Plant manager. Plant manager is in the middle management. Middle. So there are a little difference. There is a little difference between top management and middle management. We have top management, middle management. So top management, I said we have chief executive officer, chief financial officer, we have the chairman, we have the HR director, and we have head of marketing and vice president. This is top management. What about middle management? Middle management, as you said, is
System administrator.
we have plant manager, sales manager, marketing manager. All these are in the middle management. Marketing manager, plant manager.
Relation specific.
What?
PCM. Customer relation.
Customer. No, that is customer relations specialist is in the front line stuff.
It's the front line.
Front line, because he is a person whom he has a lot of relationships with the customers. So he can meet people all the time. He works at the front line, in the front line stuff. Now about back office stuff, back office. We have HR specialist, systems administrator, and junior accountant. This back, the last one is consultant, sales representative, customer
Marketing
relations.
manager.
We say the marketing manager. Marketing manager is
In the middle, teacher.
marketing manager is a middle in the middle management. Marketing manager, plant manager, sales manager, they are in the middle management. The last one is sales representative, consultant, customer relations specialist. These are persons who work at the front line because they can all the time meet people and they do things. But back office staff, we don't see these people. They work in at the back of office staff. We call them back office staff. Sometimes we say there is another name for people who work at the back office. We call them people who work behind the scenes. It means we don't see them. I will say it in Arabic, wara as-sitar, behind the scenes. This is just in general about people who work in the company.
The backstage.
We say behind the scenes. Backstage, yes, it's possible. And we say behind the scenes. I give you 3 minutes to put these sentences in the correct order. And I will ask some students to do that. If you don't understand any word, you ask me. Look at the words in bold. What does mean words in bold?
Big line.
Anglais, hired, like hired. To hire a person, it means to recruit. What does it mean to apply for a job?
تقدم للعمل.
تقدم للعمل. You speak Arabic very well. To apply for a job is to ask to write a letter, application letter, asking for a job. Look at the number 3, running his own business. To run your business or to
Manage your business.
manage your business, yes. to run your business or to manage your business. Retire. What does it mean to retire?
To finish working for your all life.
Yeah. Because of age.
Yes.
When you reach 60, 65, you retire. The next, to run into financial difficulties. It means to have problems of what?
Of money.
Money.
Of money.
Of money.
Yes. Look at the next. He decided to become self-employed. To be self-employed, it means you have your own company and you start your own business. Before the last, to hand in your notice. What does it mean to hand in your notice? Before. Yes?
To read it, I think.
To
read
before
it.
leaving, to read it.
I think
No.
yes.
Like
to receive the notice.
to hand is to give it. Sometimes it's the company.
To hand out is to give it. To hand in is to read it.
Mark felt he needed a change in his life, so he decided. So Mark wanted to leave his job, to change his life. So he decided to hand in his notice and start a new career. So he s'est donné son avis pour quitter le travail. This is to hand in his notice. So before leaving the company, you need to give your notice before, so 2 months before, 2 or 3 months before. So إعلان عن that you because you want to leave your job. The last one, to get promoted, it means promotion, to get a higher position. So now try to put the sentences in the correct order. I give you 2 or 3 minutes to do that.
Teacher,
Yeah.
please, what are frontline stuff in the first exercise? Frontline.
The meaning or the people who work?
The people who work.
In the front line. I said we have consultant, sales representative, customer relations specialist. That's all.
Sir, please, I didn't understand the question.
Number two.
Yes, sir.
Which question? Number 2. The sentences are in disorder. Look at the
Yes.
question. You put them into the correct order.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ترتب les phrases. The first one, the second one, and etc. If you don't understand any word, you ask me. Have you finished? Finish your sentence. Finish your sentence.
During the economic crisis,
Crisis.
and Mark was laid off.
Yes. The company run is in the past. Run into financial difficulties during the economic. We say the economic. Why we say the, not the economic? Because we have two.
We have two vowels.
Vowels. The economic crisis. The economic crisis. And Mark was laid off. What does mean he was laid off? He was fired. So because of the problems of money of the company got into financial difficulties. Number 5.
Due to his
Mark
extensive,
Yes. Due to continue. No, due to
his extensive experience, he quickly got hired by another company as a chief engineer.
As a chief engineer. What does it mean due to? Due to.
Because of.
Like a result.
Because of is what is extensive experience?
Dependent on.
What is extensive experience? What does it mean? Extensive experience.
Big experience.
Big experience.
Big or large. He has a lot of experience.
Yes.
Due to his extensive experience, he quickly got hired. He got recruited. Hire is a word, American English word. Hired by another company as a chief engineer. The next sentence.
Mark felt he needed to change his life, so he decided to hand in his notice and start a new career.
Yes, Mark felt. The verb is to felt.
Feel.
To feel. Mark felt he needed a change in his life, so he decided to hand in his notice. To hand in his notice, it means to say to the company that he wanted to leave the company because he wanted to start a new career. And number 7.
He decided to become self-employed and
Yes.
start his own business as a consultant.
Yes. He decided to become self-employed because he wanted to start his own business. And the last one, number 8 is?
After nearly 20 years.
He decided to retire. To retire en français? What is to retire en français?
Retraité.
Le retrait.
C'est prendre la retraite. Retirement. C'est la retraite. The noun is retirement. Can somebody read the text quickly? In the right order.
After graduating from university, Mark decided to apply for as a junior engineer. After a successful interview at Systematic PLC, he was hired for the position. Mark worked diligently for several years and eventually got promoted to the position of senior engineer.
Number 4.
Due to his extensive ran into financial difficulties during the economic crisis, and Mark was laid off.
Yeah. Number 5.
Due to his extensive experience, he quickly got hired by another company as a chief engineer.
Number 6.
Systematic. Mark felt he needed to change his life, so he decided to hand in his notice and start a new career. He decided to become self-employed, and start his own business as a consultant.
And the last one?
After nearly 20 years of running his own business, Mark decided to retire early.
Yes, good. So this is the right order of the sentences. We'll do another exercise. Can you give the meaning of these sentences or phrases? Yasin Silak, can you hear me? Yasin Silak,
Yes.
you are here. What is stop working?
Stop working is the finish work or
Stop working. We did the word in the text. To
Retire.
retire. Stop working, it means to retire. It means prendre la retraite. Selma Moudin. Number 2.
No longer employed because the company has no money or work to offer. Laid off.
Yes, it is laid off. Laid off. Laid off is the past participle. What is the verb to? The verb is to. This is past participle. To lay off. L-A and Y. L-A-Y. L-A-Y. To lay off. This is the verb. To lay off, it means to fire somebody. Because no longer employed because the company has no money to offer. There is another expression that we use when the company does not have money. We make somebody redundant. We make somebody redundant. We will see this word after. Mohammed Aliwi.
Yes, sir.
Employed. All the time.
Hired.
I ask you all the time the same question.
Hired.
Employed is
Hired.
or
Recruited.
or recruited.
Recruited.
Employed, hired, or recruited. Shayma Sayla. Are you here? Shayma. You just put your name and you go away. Can somebody answer number 4?
Yes, sir.
Working independently.
Self-employed.
To be self-employed. To work independently, not for an employer. It is to be self-employed. To move to a more senior position.
Promoted.
To get promoted. Promoted. To move to a more senior position, it means to get promoted. The opposite is of the promotion is demotion. To leave your job.
Retire.
No,
Hand
retire.
in his notice.
Retire is to stop working. To leave your job is to
hand
in his notice.
To hand in your notice. But to hand in your notice is just giving. C'est un avis pour quitter le travail. But normally when we leave our job,
resign.
Another verb. To
Resign.
To resign. C'est démissionner. To resign. Démissionner. R-E-S-I-G-N.
Teacher, what is the difference between laid off and resign? Laid off and
laid off طرد laid off resign انت اللي تمشي ديميسيوني. Do you understand?
It's approximately the same thing, I think.
No, it's not. To lay off, it's the company which makes you stop working. But when you resign, you want to leave the company. There is a difference. Do you understand?
Even if the company is not running into economical crisis, it's not running into economical crisis.
If they are not running into financial difficulties and you are fired, but to lay off when you have problems, but when there is no problem, they dismiss you. Do you understand? They dismiss you or they fire you. But when there is a problem of money in the company, they lay you off. But when you resign, it's the worker who wants
it's
to.
The company who decides to.
What?
It's the company who decides to make you leave. Leave.
Yeah, that is to dismiss or to fire. And we can also use lay off, to dismiss, to fire. This is when the company, which they decide to make you leave the company. But when you resign, it means you decide to leave the company because you don't like the job anymore. Yes, you see the difference?
Yes. Or maybe it's you who did some faults.
What?
Or maybe it's your fault.
My fault?
It's the worker fault, not the company fault.
Which word you are talking about?
Maybe the worker is coming late.
No, when the worker when the worker makes something bad, he
mistakes.
He is dismissed. To dismiss. DISSMISS. Dismiss. But sometimes there is a wrongful dismissal. You know what is a wrongful dismissal? Wrongful dismissal, c'est licenciement abusif. C'est طرد تعسفي. This is a wrongful dismissal. But when the company has a problem, they don't need the workers anymore, they make them redundant. Redundant is a word that we will see after. So can you answer number 7, officially request word? When we want to find a work, what do? We apply for a job. Apply for a job. Apply for a job. What is apply? APPL and Y. For the job. Apply for. We say all the time for. Well, sometimes you can say apply to the company, no, but apply for the job to a company. But we don't use to. We say for the company, for the job, to apply for the job. Can you do the next exercise? What is hard money? Financial difficulties. Look at this table. Look at the phrase with noun, phrase with verb, and the meaning. We can receive promotion. We can get promoted. The meaning is to move up to a more senior position. The opposite is a demotion or get demoted. The opposite of move up is to move
down.
Down. And the opposite of senior, and the opposite of senior is junior. Look at another word about get fired. We say to get the sack or get sacked. It means to lose your job. Look at the explanation here. You lose your job because you did something wrong. It's the same for get fired. We say get sacked and get fired. You lose your job because you did something wrong. So here we have get sacked and fired because you did something wrong. The next, you receive a dismissal. Dismissal is the noun of to dismiss. The past participle is to be dismissed. It means you lose your job because you did something wrong. It's the same. Get sacked, get fired, get dismissed because you did something wrong. But to be redundant, look at the next. Here you did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong in the company, but you are made redundant. Why? Because the company has problems. They have a lot of workers and they don't need these workers, so they make them redundant. To make them redundant, it means to make them lose their job, and sometimes you have some compensation. Sometimes they can give you money.
But
Because
it's not the same that laid off.
But
it's not the same word like laid off.
But in the text they say to be laid off because in the text what do we say?
The factory run into economical crisis
because they have problem of money. But lay off and be redundant, there is not a big difference. To be laid off because it's the company, they have problems, and to be made redundant because they have a lot of workers. They don't need these workers. So it's more or less the same, lay off and be redundant, because it's the company which have problems. And next, to get into retirement or to retire, it means to stop working. Here we talk about to resign. Hand in your what is the pronunciation of the noun of resign?
Resignation.
Resignation. So we pronounce the G. It's like ignore, ignorance. Resignation. C'est démissionner. To resign, c'est démissionner. You leave your job because you don't like the work anymore. Look at this exercise. You have 5 minutes to do it. Are there any words you don't understand here?
Record level.
have the profits have reached a high level, very high level. It means the best profits that year, because she works very hard. She has made a lot of profits to the for the company. That means he has been warned. To warn somebody. Number 2, he has been warned.
Avertissement.
Il a été averti. So, to warn, c'est avertir quelqu'un. Warning, c'est donner un avertissement à quelqu'un. Number 3, they have lost several key clients. Key clients, it means the best clients, and clients, persons who buy especially services, work for to do. Chief accountant, le chef comptable. All his bosses have been massive. I said last time 5 simple tasks. Les tâches les plus simples. Simple tasks. So who can do the first one? All the time, when we talk about advising people, which model do we use? Do we need? Advice. To advise somebody, we use he or she. He or she.
She out.
Yes, out to, or that we use very often. Should. He, all the time, start your sentence with she or he should. And we need to use the past passive voice in these sentences. He should. Who can do the first one? It's easy. Paula has promoted. She should be promoted. The first one. She should be promoted because she worked very hard. She should be promoted. Or she should get promotion. Who can do the second one?
He should laid off.
Can you read the sentence first, John?
John has missed another day at work without an acceptable reason. He has been warned about his behavior several times already.
He should?
Laid off.
Yes, he should be.
Yes, he should be laid
But here
off.
laid off, it means when we say laid off, it's the problem comes from him. So he should be fired,
Demoted.
he should be sacked, or he should promoted,
Demoted.
No.
demoted or dismissed. So he should be fired, sacked, or dismissed. Also demoted is possible. Who can do the number 3? In the company, some workers don't have anything to do. They don't need them. So, what about Sarah? Sarah should
Should be laid off.
Get laid off.
Be made redundant.
another word that we.
Redundant.
She should be made redundant. You have it in the table. She should be made redundant. She should be made redundant. The noun of redundant is redundancy. You know the redundancy? Redundancy, c'est la redondance. When there is a lot of repetition. It means here there are a lot of workers who do the same job. So they don't need them.
There is no need for their.
They don't need these workers because there are other workers who do the job. Number 4.
Vlad should be demoted.
Should be demoted, or he should get a demotion, or he should be demoted. Because the bosses they have not been satisfied with his performance. The last one.
Paul should be retired.
Yes, he should be retired. Or he should go into retirement. He should go into retirement. Look at the talking point. When is it necessary to dismiss a worker? When we should dismiss a worker? What does he do to dismiss him?
To come late and meeting deadlines.
Coming late and meeting or not meeting?
Meeting.
To
Deadline.
meet deadline is good. To meet the deadline is good.
To not meet.
I mean, not to meet the deadline. To meet deadline, it means you
don't
finish
finish.
your work on time. Not to meet deadline. To come late and not to meet deadline. If you say meet deadline, it means he is a good worker. So the persons who are not punctual and persons who don't meet the deadlines.
Sir, we can dismiss a worker if he gave a bad reputation about his company.
When we give bad reputation about his company, how can a person give a bad reputation about the company? What does he do?
If he doesn't make his job,
He just share negative points with another people who don't work in the company.
He gives only the bad image. He gives a bad image about the company to other people. Maybe because when somebody wants to resign, maybe he can sometimes give a bad image to the company, to other people. Look at the last question. Have you understood the question? Can somebody read the question? Describe
Describe your company's organizational structure. Is it flat or hierarchical?
hierarchical.
Hierarchical. How easy is it to climb the ladder?
Yes. What does it mean to climb the ladder? To get
Promoted.
to get up in
Yes, to move up to a higher position. So I will send you the document, but before finishing, I ask you, next time I will ask the students, and next time I will, if you don't use your camera or micro, I will consider you as absent. So next time, be sure to use your camera, but you need to do this homework. The difference between the flat structure and the hierarchical structure. I explain it to you, or you try to find out by yourself?
For example, the organizational structure in companies are hierarchy.
Hierarchical.
Yeah.
Sometimes the structure
Sometimes
is flat,
flat.
and sometimes hierarchical. I ask you to find out the difference between flat structure and hierarchical structure. Try to find the difference between them. Do you understand me?
Yes.
And you tell me what is good and bad about being flat, and what is good and bad about being hierarchical in the structure of the company. So both of them have advantages and disadvantages. And try to talk about them next time. I will ask some students, and of course I will mark your answers. I will take them into consideration, your answers about this being flat, being hierarchical, and I will send you this document. So now, if you don't have questions, I need a break because I will start at 10 o'clock with the other group. Do you have any question?
No.
No, it's clear. So here we
Yes.
talked about the career ladder, being promoted, being dismissed, being demoted. Yes? No question?
No question.
Okay. Goodbye. See you next time. And have a nice holiday.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
What tube? Tube.
هذا تشيب
فين
تشيب
اخوي
كان
يعني؟
دون مايك تشيب
تيب انا عارف
بدون مايك.
انا ما كاين ترى داكشي لسه نقول
لا
انا عارف وناس فين